Hi, this is Lisa Broyles with Way to Health MD, and today's topic is pain. I know that as the weather turns cold, many people, as we grow older, experience more pain in our joints, just more pain overall, and I wanted to explore what's safe, what's not for chronic pain. First of all, I wanted to point out that opioids are the worst choice that you could want for chronic pain. This includes OxyContin, hydrocodone, morphine, any of the opiates. They are so addictive. So these were actually approved by the FDA back in the 1990s, really with no studies looking at could they cause dependence. There was a 14-day trial that Purdue Pharmacy, who made OxyContin, offered the FDA as proof that OxyContin controlled release was actually a less addictive opioid and a great choice for chronic pain, including osteoarthritis. The FDA approved OxyContin controlled release based on this 14-day study, no other evidence, okay? So this spurred the beginning of the opioid crisis in the US. I remember as a young family medicine doctor, the reps for OxyContin coming to my office and saying, oh yeah, there's very little addictive potential for OxyContin. It's much safer than other forms of opiates. So you should definitely prescribe this for your patients, which I did initially. And I saw my own patients getting addicted to this medication. So the FDA had asked Purdue for follow-up studies on the safety of OxyContin, and it was promised and yet never done. So for 23 years, the FDA continued to approve OxyContin, and yet there was never any other studies to prove that OxyContin was actually safe or had less dependence than other opiates. So jump forward to 2017, when the University of Michigan did a study that looked at patients who were given opiates for a surgery, and they found that 3 to 4 months after that surgery, 1 in 16 of those patients continued to be on those opiate medications, indicating some dependence that had resulted from being given a medication as part of their surgery. So this created an opioid epidemic. It's continued to skyrocket. The data from the National Institute of Health shows that between 2019 and 2022, the number of deaths from opioid accidental overdoses actually doubled. It was in the 40-something thousand range, went up to over 80,000 people a year in the US dying of accidental opioid overdose. I'm not even going to get into the dangers of fentanyl now. Basically, if you can at all avoid being on an opiate after a surgery or a minor procedure, please don't ask for them. Please refuse them if they're offered to you, if at all possible. So what else is there that you can take for pain? Because the opioids actually increase the inflammation and increase the pain once the drug has worn off, and that's why they're so dangerous. Studies have found that ibuprofen and Tylenol, when taken together, work just as well as most opiates for most surgeries, including colon resections. So you can take an ibuprofen 200 milligram and a 650 milligram Tylenol at the same time every 4 hours initially after a surgery, and you're not going to get addicted, and it's going to help control your pain. I'm not saying that ibuprofen and Tylenol aren't without their risks, but they don't cause dependence and they don't cause the accidental overdose issues that the opioids do. So that's one option. One of my favorites is just trying to calm the inflammation that's causing you to hurt so much in the first place. So turmeric is a wonderful supplement for that. There's a powerful version of that by Seeking Health called Curamed that I like. There's Turmeric Supreme by Designs for Health, but not just turmeric, you really need a blend. Cat's claw is a wonderful herb to help calm inflammation as well. And I love CBD. CBD oil decreases inflammation, decreases dependence on opioids and alcohol. So CBD oil full spectrum tinctures are the way to go. I highly recommend a sublingual starting with about 500 milligram, and you take 1 teaspoon at bedtime. And then if that's doing well to help you with pain and sleep, you can actually take it up to 2 to 3 times a day and as much as 1,500 milligrams instead of a 500 milligram dose. So CBD is Perfectly safe. There is no dependence, and the full spectrum does seem to work better than the isolate. Full spectrum means that it has about 0.3% THC, possibly not enough to make you feel any psychedelic effects, but enough that it is possible that full spectrum CBD could cause a drug screen to be positive for THC. So just be aware of that if you have a job that does frequent drug screening. If you have any other questions about chronic pain, I would love to talk to you. I've got lots of ideas and lots of supplements and lifestyle changes that can help reduce your chronic pain. Thank you.